Okay, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's a game. It's not a flight simulator, okay? And specifically for PlayStation 5. There, I said it. So after a quick comment thread the other day where we kind of went back and forth about the difference between a simulator and a game, it kind of made me think, you know what, that would be a good conversation to bring up here in a video. So today we're talking about the difference between a flight simulator and a game. What's the difference? A lot of people really hate it when you call a flight simulator a game. Me, I'm like, I get it, but unless you're really pushing the issue, I'm really not going to say anything. But a lot of people also are like, no, this is a simulator. You have to treat this like a simulator. This is not a game. You do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 whatever. It's a simulator. But then you've got, of course, got the other half. Dead ass, this is a game. So that's what I kind of wanted to discuss today. Of course, all of your comments are more than welcome. I would love to know what you think down here, but I'm going to give you my side of the story. Quick update on where we're at with subscribers. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please hit that like and subscribe button. We want to hit 4,000 subscribers by the end of December, and I'll be honest, we're a little behind schedule right now. I am at 3766 as of the time that I'm looking at this, and that puts me about 15 to 20 behind schedule. So if you like this content, want to see more of this type of content, building flight sims, flying flight sims, just having a good time with flight sims, hit that like and subscribe button and kind of give you my thoughts. And I'm one that really believes that flight simulators are simulators. They are a tool. People that are using flight simulators are using them to stay current, to stay proficient, to become more familiar with a flight. It should be treated like an actual aircraft. You should be using checklists. You should be going through the flight scenarios, the flight planning. You should have the tactile, all the stuff that you can touch and feel and go through all that stuff so that you can feel like you're actually in a flight in the real world. Okay, that's the way that I feel like it should be, and you should treat it like that so you're not creating bad habits in the actual aircraft. But the other half of that is, the gamers who want to gamify everything, people that are on PlayStation 5, Xbox, is game. It's gamified. You're out there playing. You're trying to get through different levels. You're building experience points so that you can build your career mode and you can go just kind of do whatever. You can skip the startup, you can skip the taxi, you can skip the entire flight if you want and just go straight to landing the aircraft. I don't know if you can skip over the landing. I haven't seen that. That's the one part that most pilots actually want to do and get better at. So my thoughts on that are, why would you skip all this? What is this helping you? And how is that helping you? And is it even real? So the other side of that is, what are the flight controls like? Are you enjoying the flight process? Does it feel like a normal flying aircraft? If you're using a DualSense, controller from a PlayStation or any other PlayStation device, or some kind of gaming system, whether it's an Xbox or whatever, chances are you're not doing this because you want to become familiar and have that muscle memory built into your head. It's not going to do it. You're not going to get the muscle memory like you're actually out there in a real aircraft. So yes, it's a game. If you're holding on to a joystick, a controller, a DualSense controller, or a subpar controller system, like I'm not going to name any names, but if you have a subpar controller system that doesn't even match the aircraft that you're flying in, it's a game. It doesn't even matter. If you're skipping stuff, it's a game. I'm just going to go through some of this for a little bit. I'm going to go through the motions and act like I'm getting a private pilot license, and it's not a full check ride. It's not asking you questions. It's not challenging you in a way that you actually feel like you're being challenged and can learn something from it. Then it's just a game, okay? Let's look at this in a different perspective. Because I don't want to crap on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 all day long. I actually like the gamification. I actually like what they're doing with it. I like the fact that you can get in and fly different flights and kind of gamify an entire career. That's actually really cool to me. And I always liked that concept from the very beginning, because most flight simulators you get in, you're actually just flying to fly. You just get in and you're just kind of like, I guess I'm just going to go from this airport to this airport. There's no real mission behind it. There's no ferry flights. There's no skydivers. There's no sightseers. There's no cargo missions. There's no VIP transport. There's no fires to put out generally. So in most flight simulators, it is that way. So I really like the gamification behind what Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is doing. Okay, that is great. It's one of my favorite parts of it. But here's my thoughts on this. If you're playing on a PlayStation 5 specifically, or PlayStation 5 Pro or whatever, you get what I'm talking about. If you're playing with a controller in your hand, it's a game, okay? Now, if you take that same game, if you take Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and you optimize the controller settings on a PC, not on PlayStation, but on a PC, and you actually get a full panel where you can reach up and touch the knobs and, play around with everything. You got trim controls. You got G1000 set up. You can optimize the controls so that it's actually working the way that you would expect it to fly in an actual aircraft. Then, or you have flight controls, you've got rudder pedals, things that you could use like you're flying in a real aircraft. Now you're close. Now you're in a sim. Now you put wraparound flight sim panels. I'm talking TVs, monitors. We've been talking about that in some of my most recent videos. Now you start adding that stuff in. Now you have an actual tool that you can use for flight training, okay? Now, if you don't care, then play the game. It really doesn't matter. I don't care what you want to call it. I'm just trying. I kind of got myself a little bit worked up over that thread and thought at the same time, this is going to make a great conversation because if you're looking for a game, yeah, just use the control. Take some time, get good at it, play it, have fun with it, and build some hours. Go have fun with that flight sim or that game. Now, if you want to stay current, if you want to treat, even if you're retired and you're never going to get in a real aircraft again, if you want to treat it like an actual aircraft, get out there and go through the pre-flight, go through the startup procedures, use the checklist, get out there and actually taxi down the runway to where you're going. Get ATC on the line. You can get ATC programs, VATSIM, Pilot Edge. You can use these programs just like you're in an actual freaking aircraft and going on a real flight. Talk to real people. That's a real thing. You can do that, and it will enhance your experience of realism and the overall experience of flying in a simulator, flying in an airplane. You can take a friend along just to sit with you if you want. That's going to help and really solidify that experience overall. So those are my thoughts. PlayStation 5, you got yourself a game. If you missed everything that I said, go back and watch this video again. I think if you want to have that simulator experience, which I've always liked that experience, and always thought of it like that, don't look at this as a game. You're just going to build bad habits. If you want to build good habits and transfer those habits, positive habit transfer into a real aircraft, then set it up on a PC, treat it like a real flight, use all those tools that you have the wraparound experience, 3 TVs on the left, right, and the center, and I think you'll have a much better experience overall. That's where I'm going with that. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what yours are. What do you think? Should we call it a sim? Should we call it a game? What are you using it for? And how much on a scale from 1 to 10 do you actually give a crap? So those are my thoughts. I will catch up with you guys in another video. Take care. Hey, if you haven't already done so, head over to EliteSimBuild.com, grab a copy of our Home Flight Simulator Resource Guide. Do that thing where you click the button, give us your email address, and we will send you a copy of our simulator guides where you can get the resource list, the avionics reviews, a panel blueprint, so that way you guys can send that off to your panel guy, get all the parts and pieces that you need. You'll know exactly what software to pick up so you can get your Cessna 172 flight simulator built today.